Hello everyone, today is actually going to be the first video of us talking about or explaining the secret file and everything you need to know about the GAT, or specifically the verbal section of the GAT exam. Of course, as you guys can see in front of you, we do have the secret file in front of us, and without further ado, I guess we can start explaining the file. Before we actually start with the file, I need you guys to know this is my way of memorizing these questions and understanding these questions. You may not agree with my technique, you may not agree with the things I do, and that's completely okay. Sometimes the things I do may not align with the things you do, and like I said, that's okay. أهم شيء إنكم فاهمين الأسئلة and yeah, that's it. أهم شيء إنكم فاهمين, and if you guys have any more questions, you guys can message me privately, and I'll make sure to answer them. First of all, this video is we're going to be talking about the analogies section in particular, and first of all, we have the gold Russia model. So let's get started. With analogy questions, you need to know that to answer them and get them right, you need to make a relationship between, or you need to put in a word between the two words in the question. So you have to make a relationship with the two words. For example, here we have the words small, tiny. Small and tiny are synonyms. If you don't know what a synonym is, synonym basically means identical. Identical means the same meaning. Small means tiny. The answer, you guys can see that we have tall and high, which are also synonyms. Small and tiny mean the same thing. Tall and high basically mean the same thing, or are close in meaning. Our second question is old and new. It's pretty obvious. I think it's very straightforward. Old is the opposite of new. Dirty is the opposite of clean. It's that simple. Third question, we have bird and eagle. An eagle is a type of bird. An eagle is a type of bird. Notice how I went from right to left rather than left to right. Most people may not know this, but in the Arabic GAT, it is forbidden, totally forbidden, when answering analogy questions to go from right to left. But sometimes in the GAT exam, the English قدرات, it is okay to go from right to left, as it does sometimes make more sense. So in this question, we can go from right to left, and as you can see, it made it much easier. An eagle is a type of bird. Let's go to the answers. We have mammal, camel, or snake, and reptile. As we can see, we have a green check mark on mammal and camel, and a camel is a type of mammal, so it is 100% correct, and we will always pick that one. If we see, if we see the green check mark, we pick the answer no matter how right the other answer might be. And we have a green check mark on mammal, camel, so we'll pick that one without hesitation. Fourth question we have is travel and pleasure. Travel causes pleasure. So if I were to go and travel to, let's say, France, for example, I will go ahead and be pleasured because I'm going and enjoying myself. Running causes sweating. If I go out for a run, or if I go on a run on a treadmill, I will excessively sweat, or I will sweat in general. So this is cause and effect. Travel causes pleasure. Running causes sweating. All right. Freeze, ice. I think it's very straightforward. Let's say we had water. If we had water and we would and we'd freeze it, it would turn into ice. So it is also cause and effect. We freeze something, it turns into ice. And in this question specifically, it does not say water, but it is kind of obvious they mean water by the word ice. All right. The answer itself is engine and noise. An engine makes noise. We can say the actual relationship between the two words freeze and ice is freezing something makes ice, and the something in this question relates to water most definitely, and an engine creates noise or makes noise or generates noise, whatever you want to say, it all works out. I think it's very straightforward. Number 6, we have bees and honey. A bee makes honey or generates honey or develops honey. A snake creates poison, makes poison, whatever helps you memorize it. So some of the relationships we can use is makes, generates, and what else can we say? I guess these are the ones that are obvious, so we'll use either makes or generates for number 6, bees and honey. Number 7, we have hot and cold. Hot is the opposite of cold. Friend is the opposite of enemy. It's very straightforward. I don't think I need to explain anything. The relationship between number 7, hot and cold, is opposites. Opposites. All right, opposites. Number 8, we have sun and heat. The easiest relationship we can use is sun gives heat. I think that's the easiest one we can use, and it's best to pick a relationship that's easy to memorize. So I think gives is the easiest to memorize, even if it's not the most accurate. And exercise gives you health. Exercise gives you a healthy body, and so on and so forth. So the easiest relationship in this question specifically is gives, but it's not 100% accurate. You could probably use something else and it would still be right. Number 9, we have hair and brushing. In this sense, we will also go from right to left. And you're probably going to be asking, why would we do that? Like I said in the beginning of the video, some of the techniques I use are much different than what other people may use. Going right to left is sometimes forbidden, but sometimes I use it to my advantage. And in this case, I am using it to my advantage. Brushing your hair. Use a brush to, or in your hair, use your brush to comb your hair. And you go ahead and fix your car. It doesn't make the most sense in a way, I guess, because it says fixing rather than fix. But sometimes you have to use the right to left analogy technique and use it to your advantage, even if it doesn't sometimes make the most sense. But in this case, I'm using the right to left, saying I brush my hair and I fix my car. I hope that makes sense. Number 10, we have pure and clean. Pure and clean is also a synonym. And as we said in the beginning of the video with the first question, synonym equals identical. Synonym means identical or same meaning. So pure basically means clean. Broad in this case it also means wide. It's not 100% accurate, but it does work. All right, so in this relationship between these two words in number 10 is synonym, same meaning or close to same meaning. Number 11, we have water and pipes. I guess you guys can say water is in pipes. So the relationship would be is in pipes. Electricity is in cables or wires. It is in cables or wires. and that makes the most sense. I also need you guys to know that you are not just going to see one multiple choice question. You'll be seeing four. You will be seeing four multiple choices. You'll see A, you'll see B, you'll see C, you'll see D. But in this case, in the secret file, we really only give you the correct answer, and that may not be the best thing, but it just minimizes extra work, and we straight away give you the right answer. And so in that case, when you see in your exam, you don't really have to go out of your way to see the other multiple choice questions. You only really have to go ahead and pick the correct answer. And in that case, or in question number 11's case, it is electricity is in cables or wires. All right. So the relationship number 11 is in. This is the relationship. Number 12, we have traffic and tension. I guess the best relationship in this question would be traffic causes tension. So we would say causes. So traffic causes tension, all right? And failure causes stress. Failure causes stress. And as we can see, we have a blue check mark right here. A green check mark. I don't know why I said blue. Green check mark, which overall means that we have the correct answer, and it's 100% the right answer. Number 13. Number 13 is very straightforward. A driver needs a license, and going on a flight or going flying, you need a ticket. You need a ticket to go flying, and you need a license to be a driver. So in this case, in number 13's case, you could probably go from right to left as well, or you can go from left to right. It works in both ways, but it's best to use the most obvious, which is left to right, and driver needs license, flying needs ticket. Number 14, we have scissors and paper. A scissors job is to cut paper. A sharpener's job is to sharpen a pencil. So in the relationship between these two words in the question, scissors and paper, is its job. Its job. Scissors' job is to cut paper. Sharpener's job is to sharpen a pencil. Accident, number 15, accident and damage. An accident, I guess in this question you guys can use the most obvious one or the most easy to memorize relationship, even though there's so many. An accident creates damage, and a speed creates a fine. If you speed, you will get a fine. If you cause an accident, you will cause damage as well. Another relationship you guys can use is causes, as I said for just now. So creates or causes kind of work, but it's probably better to use causes as it is more accurate, but create most likely will be easier to memorize. So this was the Gold Rush model. We will now be moving on to the next model, but before we move on to the next model, I need you guys to know that there is Telegram quizzes where you guys can quiz yourself on the questions we have taken just now. So any questions you may not think you can memorize or understand, you guys can go ahead and join the Telegram group, which you guys will find in the link in the description, or if not in the link in the description, you guys can join the WhatsApp group in the link in the description, and you guys can ask for the Telegram group in which you will find these quizzes. All right, let's head on and move on to the next model. All right, we now have the Taj Mahal model. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not going to explain every model within itself. I'm explaining each analogy section in each model, and then I'll be making different videos allocated to the specific thing we're going to talk about. So this video is going to be solely for analogies. The next video will be fill in the blanks. Third video will be contextual error, and so on and so forth. Let's all head on and answer the questions for the Taj Mahal model. First question we have is discuss and argue. Discussing something sometimes leads to arguing. So the relationship would be leads to. Alright? So it leads to. Not in all cases, but sometimes. The answer would be nibbling or nibble leads to eating something. Not in all cases. Sometimes you nibble something and you don't eat it. And sometimes you discuss something and you don't argue. But in this case, we say discussing something sometimes leads to arguing, and nibbling something or nibbling sometimes leads to eating. Alright? Okay. Number 2, cotton shirt. A shirt, we're going to go from right to left. A shirt sometimes is made out of cotton. So our relationship here would be sometimes made out of. Alright? Our answers, as you guys can see, we have 3 different answers. We'll go with the one with the green check mark, and it is fruit and jam. Jam is sometimes made out of fruit. Not in all cases. Sometimes it's not made out of fruit. Just like a shirt is not always made out of cotton. A shirt can be made up of many different materials: silk, polyester, cotton, etc. So jam isn't always made out of fruit, and a shirt isn't always made out of cotton. Number 3, we have sandstorm and weather. Sandstorm is a type of weather. So sandstorm is a type of weather. A lizard is a type of reptile. So a lizard is a type of reptile. I think it's very simple, and I don't really need to explain it any further than that. Number 4, we have take and snatch. In this question, we don't really exactly have a relationship between the two words. We rather have leveling, and you're probably very confused on what I'm trying to say, but snatching something is kind of the next level to taking something. So snatching something kind of sounds worse than taking something, and staring sounds worse than looking. So in this case, we're also going to be going from right to left, and we're going to say snatching it sounds worse. We're just going to say sounds worse, even though there's definitely a relationship that I do not know or don't have on the top of my head. So if you guys want to make a relationship on number 4 in your own kind of way, that's completely okay. But number 4, I'm just going to say snatching sounds worse than taking, and staring sounds worse than looking. Alright. Number 5, we have oven and cook, and we have knife and cut. As we can see, we have a green check mark, so we know knife cut is completely correct, even though we don't have the rest of the multiple choice answers we will be given in the exam itself. An oven is used for cooking, a knife is used for cutting. So oven, we can add here ing, just make it more clear. We can 100% add ing here, and we can also completely add ing here. So I guess in the T there as well. So oven is used for cooking, knife is used for cutting. Alright, so used for. Number 6, we have drill, hole, and manufacture product. In this sense, we don't have a relationship in this sense or this question. What we will say is we will fill in a word between the two words. You're probably asking, what does that mean? And so in this case, we're going to say, you drill a hole, you manufacture a product. So we're going to put the word a between the words. All right, so you're going to put the word a between the two words. You drill a hole, you manufacture a product. Number 7, we have biology and science, and we have boot and footwear. Biology is a type of science. As we know, we have chemistry, physics, and biology. So biology is a type of science, or is in science, or yeah, I think it makes sense. A boot is a type of footwear which you put on your foot. So biology is a type of science. Boot is a type of footwear. We're going to put the relationship itself between the two, between the question itself and the answer. We had something similar, I believe, in the first section, scissors and cut, and we had sharpen and pencil. Sometimes you will have the same question but different answers, and that's completely normal in the GAT exam. We're going to use the same relationship we used before. Scissors are used for cutting, and a shovel is used for digging. So we used the same exact relationship, but the answer itself is different. All right. Okay. Number 9, we have lamb, sheep, and we have sea and tree, which has a green check mark. A lamb becomes a sheep. A seed becomes a tree. So it is progression. So we can probably either use progression. Did I write that right? I think I wrote that wrong. Okay, we won't use progression. I don't know how to spell progression. I think it's this. Wait, yeah, there we go, progression. And then we have lamb either progresses and becomes a sheep, or just becomes. You guys, you just use becomes, it's much easier. But I just said progression, just in case you want to be unique, I guess. Number 10, we have hunger and food, and we have sick and doctor. Hunger is solved by eating food, and being sick is solved by going to a doctor. So the relationship would be solved by. Hunger is solved by food. You eat food, you're not hungry anymore. Going to a doctor, he'll give you medicine and you won't be sick anymore. All right. Number 11, we have sugar and cane, and this one is a kind of a tricky one, and I've seen lots of people not understand what to pick, and we're gonna see why this is gonna be confusing later on in the next section. But sugar in this case, or cane, we're gonna go from right to left to make it seem easier to understand. Cane is sometimes made out of sugar. Most people are probably gonna say, but cane has sugar cane inside it. How does cane mean that it's made out of sugar? When making cane, or when processing cane, you need sugar to make sugar cane. Okay, so cane is made up of an ingredient, which is sugar, and bread is made up of wheat. Bread is made out of wheat, and cane is made up of sugar. So made up of. All right, made up of. Number 12, we have sigh and relief, and we have yawn and tiredness, which is correct 100%. Sigh and relief. This doesn't have an exact relationship, but what we can do is something like something simple, and we've just recently used this just before, a couple of questions above, we can fill in the two words with a word. So we can say sigh of relief, yawn of tiredness. So we can put between the words, so cancel out the semicolon and put in of. All right, I hope that makes sense. So sigh of relief, yawn of tiredness. Number 13, we have money and poverty. Just cancel this out. So you guys can see money, poverty, and we have light and darkness. Okay. We can say money solves poverty, and we can say light solves darkness. So the most easy to memorize, I guess you guys can say, is solves. So the relationship here would be solves for number 13. Number 14 is another tricky one, and you're probably going to pick the wrong answer most of the time. And I personally, when I saw this question on my exam, I was very confused myself, but after understanding it, it becomes more easy. A toe is attached to a foot. All right. Grapes are attached to vines. Some people have the thought that a better relationship would be toe is in foot, or core, and core is in apple, and that is correct. And in most cases, it is correct, and you could probably full on pick core and apple. But the reason we have grape and vines is the relationship attached is more accurate. Okay, so let's just put this into let's just say that you didn't see grapes and vines. Let's just say we didn't see grapes and vines in our exam. We would go on and not say attached, but we would say toe is in foot, or is in a foot, and core is in a apple, which is also correct. So in this case, both answers are correct. Okay, but the most accurate one, and why we have a green check mark on grape and vines, is because attached is a better relationship and more accurate. Number 15, we have combination and separation, and we have safety and danger. Just put a green check mark here, or just put a check mark because this is 100% correct. Combination is the opposite of separation, and safety is the opposite of danger, right? So we're also going to say opposites. Very straightforward. This question, unfortunately, does not have a specific relationship. So in this case, I highly advise all of you to memorize this question, as it does not have a specific relationship, and I'm not going to give you something that I'm not 100% sure of. Okay, so memorize this question, and I need you guys to know I did get this question in my exam, so make sure to memorize it. Make sure, if you are able to find a relationship, to try to memorize it via the relationship you made up. But I personally am not going to give you a relationship that I'm not 100% sure of. So for number 16, I highly advise you to memorize what you can. So I'm just going to put memorize caps. All right. Like I said before, you guys can test yourself with the Telegram quizzes. And yeah, that's the Taj Mahal model. I hope everything made sense. And if you guys have any issues with this model in particular, make sure to message me, and I'll make sure to answer all your questions. Let's move on to the next model. All right, so now we have the turkey whistling model. For the next couple of models, as there is so many, and like I've said in the introduction video, I am a high schooler, so I don't have exactly as much time to explain everything in detail. I will be skimming through or trying my best to explain as fast as possible for the rest of the models. First question for the turkey whistling model, we have touch, hit, and we have talk and shout. Touching leads to hitting in most cases, and talking sometimes leads to shouting. So this would be sometimes leads to, all right? Sometimes leads to. Number 2, we have knife and fork. I guess you can say knife and fork lie under or go under the same category. So we'd say same category. In this case, knife and fork go under the case of cutlery, and salt and pepper go under the same category as well, all right? So in this case, we'd say same category. Number 3, we have locked and key, and rain and umbrella. Green check mark. You get locked, or you lock something with a key, and when it rains, you use an umbrella. So how does this make sense? And a key is used for locking, and an umbrella is used for rain. Okay, so you go from right to left. We'd say, just make it more easy to see. We'd say right to left, and we'd say used for keys, used for locking, and umbrella is used for the rain. Number 4, we have happiness and smile. We have angry and shout. When you are happy, you smile, and when you are angry, you sometimes shout. So, happiness happens because of smiling, I guess, and angry happens because you're shouting. So we'll just say because of. All right. Number 5, we have tooth, and we have comb, and we have pages, and we have a novel. A tooth is in its own kind of comb, and and pages are in a novel. So we'd say in. All right. That's the relationship in. Number 6, we have orange, and we have citrus, and we have laptop and computer. We just say synonym. We just say synonym. All right. A laptop is a type of computer, and an orange or a citrus is a kind of orange in some way. Number 7, where we don't have a specific relationship, but we can use is fill it in with a word technique. So delete the semicolon and say bake a cake. We bake a cake, and we code a program. So we'd say a. All right. Same thing. I guess you can say number 8, walking leads to running. So leads to running, and speaking leads to shouting, or it's just kind of progression. So it leads to, yeah. Number 9, we have clay and brick, and water, ice. Brick is made of clay, ice is made of water. So we go from right to left, right to left, and we'd say made of. All right, made of is the relationship. Number 10, we'd say we don't have a specific relationship. We'd say cry because of sadness. So we'd say because of sadness, and gasp because of surprise. Same thing here. 11, cavity filling. So cavity needs, if you have a cavity, you need a filling, and if you have a breakdown, you need to recover. So we'd say need a or need to. Um, Number 12, we have happiness and delight, and we have trash and garbage. It's a synonym. We have synonyms here. So happiness is basically being delighted, and trash basically means garbage. So we just say same meaning, I guess. We have number 13, nose and face. We have nose and face, as we said. We have petal and flower. Nose is attached to the face or is on a face, and petal is on a flower. So we would say attached or is on. All right, so very straightforward. Number 14, we go to a library to read, and we go to a gym to exercise. So a library, I guess we can say place. The relationship is place and doing. So we go to the library to read, and we go to the gym to exercise. I hope it's okay that we don't have a specific relationship, but it's just best to sometimes fill in a specific relationship with something like this, place and doing, for example. Ride, bike, type, computer. We ride, so we're going to do another thing, no semicolon, ride on a, and we type on a. So remove the semicolon and put in those two words. So we ride on a bike, and we type on a computer, all right? Last three questions. We have chew, swallow, and we have heat, boil. We chew to swallow, and we heat to boil, all right? And we have a green check mark next to it, which means it's 100% correct. Brave is the opposite of coward, so we'd say opposites. And inside is the opposite of outside. Very simple. Exercise and strength, cavity, pain. Exercise leads to strength, and cavity, if you have a cavity, it leads to you having pain. So exercise gives you strength, cavity gives you pain. We can say gives you pain or cavity, or leads to pain. And that's the turkey whistling model. Let's move on to the next model. All right, now we have the stars model. Analogy questions. We'll speed through these questions because we don't have, they're pretty easy and very simple. Accept, repel, opposites. They're complete opposites. So glee and scatter would be 100% correct because they're also opposites. Nightmares cause, nightmares cause fears or causes fears, and peace causes prosperity. A plant needs watering, and a coin before sending it out to the public needs minting. A pony is a type of horse, and cheddar is a type of cheese. An eagle and hawk fall under the same category of birds. Rice and wheat fall under the same category of foods. I guess you can say foods, there's multiple meanings. So we're just going to say same category. All right. Number 6, we have rodent, squirrel. We're going to go from right to left. A squirrel is a type of rodent, and a wolf is a type of canine. So type of, delete this. We'll put it up so we don't get confused. Number 7, we have refusal and denial, and we have rebuttal and refutation. To refuse something is to deny something, so we're just going to say synonyms. And as we said before, synonyms equal same meaning, I guess. Number 8 is a bit you just need to understand the difference. January is the start of the year. December is the end of the year. A is the start of the alphabet. Z is the end of the alphabet. So we're going to say here start to end. Alright, start to end. Trunk and branch. Branches are attached to the trunk, and a diamond or diamonds are attached to a necklace. So we're going to say attached. And we're going to say this number 9 is from right to left. Alright, right to left. Brave and coward are opposites. So plateau and trough are also opposites. All right. Chair is used for sitting. A chair is used for sitting, and ice is used for skating. A hospital and wing. Let me put this into perspective. All right. So a hospital. Let's just put this into perspective. Let's say this is a hospital, all right? This right here is wing A. This here is wing B. Sometimes the hospital look like this. Wing C. And this here is, let's say, wing D, all right? A hospital has different wings. Wings in this scenario mean sections. All right. So this here may be for surgeries. This here may be for X-rays. This here may be for waiting. This here may be for something. I hope that makes sense. So hospitals have wings, or hospitals have sections, if that makes more sense. All right. So a hospital has wings, and literature has tragedy. If you read specific poems, you'll most likely find tragedies. If you read, for example, Shakespeare, for example, you'll find lots of tragedies and different kinds of stories. A word is in a sentence, and a brick is in a wall. Or a sentence is made up of words, and a wall is made up of bricks. Impartial and fair are opposites. A human is a mammal, and a truck is a vehicle. So we're going to go from right to left, and we're going to say is a. All right. Dangerous and pearl, we don't have a specific relationship here, so I'm going to highly advise you guys to memorize number 16. I'm going to say memorize. There may be a relationship that I do not know, but in my case, I did go ahead and memorize this question, as I did not find an obvious relationship between the two words. Number 17, we have apple and orange, and we have freedom and individuality. I guess you can say fall under the same category. There's not a specific relationship because of the word individuality. All right, so we're gonna say same category. The best thing to say is an apple is it's a fruit, an orange is a fruit, and freedom is being free, and individuality is also being free. So I guess it falls under the same category. Number 19 is something that you also need to memorize. I did not find a specific relationship between the two words, especially because of the answer itself. I couldn't find a specific relationship. So I'm going to highly advise you guys to either make a fake relationship between the two words or just memorize it as it is. Number 20, we have maple and syrup, and we have grapes and vinegar. Maple or syrup is made up of maple, and vinegar is made up because of grapes. So let's say maple creates syrup and grapes create vinegar. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what maple syrup is. Everyone knows maple syrup. Come on. Like, everyone knows what maple syrup is. When you see maple syrup, I need you guys to know that they don't mean maple is in the syrup. They mean syrup is made up of maple. Alright? That's basically the whole idea of it. So that was the stars model. Let's head on and move on to the next model. Alright, here we have the Chinese tea model. Very weird named models, but it's just what Qiyas does for some reason. Alright, first question we have is sunset leads to nightfall and crawling leads to walking. So let's say you see the sunset, eventually you will see nightfall. So we can say it leads to, or eventually, either of these relationships works, because when you see a baby crawling, eventually they will start walking, or when you see a baby crawl, eventually it will lead to walking. So both of them work. Number 2, we have supermarket and shopping. You go to a supermarket to shop, and you go to a pool to swim. So to is the relationship. A bulb is on a lamp, or is in a lamp, and a nut is in a shell. So we can say is in, makes more sense for nut and shell. When you're lost, you use a map. So when you're lost, you use a map. And when you need a definition, you head to, or you use a dictionary. Okay, so you use is the relationship for number 4. A string and guitar, feather and bird. I guess you can say a string is attached to a guitar, and a feather is attached to a bird. Or a string is on a guitar and a feather is on a bird. All right, either work. You dig to bury, so you dig to bury, I guess, in most cases, and you revise. What's happening here? You revise to memorize. All right, so the word would be, or the relationship would be to. Dig to bury, revise to memorize. Suggest and demand, hum and sing. Suggesting the mean version, or the upper, what can I say, the the other version, I guess you can say, is demanding. So when you suggest something, the other version of it would be demanding something, and humming is just another way of saying I'm singing. So we can say another way, or leads to, in most cases. We already had this question, or we didn't, something similar. When we see a sandstorm, we usually deal with wind, and when we see a tsunami, we usually deal with earthquakes at the same time. So we can say wind, we can probably say weathers, even if it's not a word, but it just makes the most sense. Weather, or weathers, that's not a word, but weathers or weather. All right, just say weather. Number 9, you sneeze because of an allergy. So we go from right to left. We sneeze because of allergies, and we are wealthy because of investments. So because of, let me write that better. Oop, wrong button. We'll say because of. All right, so right to left. Number 10, holiday and celebration and infection and fever. When we are on holiday, we celebrate. When we have an infection, we have a fever. All right, so we can say when we have or do. Do in this case means celebration, and have in this case means infection or fever. All right, it's not a specific relationship, but it works. All right. No relationship here, no specific relationship for number 11. We can say cancel out the semicolon, and we can say paint a picture, and for record we can say record a video. All right, so we'd say a. Number 12 are opposites. Protect is the opposite of abandon, and admit is the opposite of deny. When number 13, when we are bored, we fidget, and when we are appreciating something, we are applauding it. So we can say because of. So when we are bored, we fidget. For example, when you're bored, have you ever shake your leg up and down in a certain in a fast way? That's basically what fidgeting means. So we can say boredom causes fidgeting, and appreciation causes applause. So we can say because of, but the better one would probably be causes. Oh, I don't know what I wrote there. A cause. All right, causes, or because of, either work. Number 14, we have trapped and capture, and we have place and location. This is a synonym, right? Synonym equals same. All right, so same meaning is trapped means captured, and place is basically location. Number 15, we're going to go from right to left. We have tire and rubber. A tire is made up of rubber, or made of rubber. All right, so a tire is made of rubber, and a car is made up of steel. So made of or made up of. Made up of. All right. Number 16, we have paint, brush, and we have wash and soap. We're going to go from right to left again. We use a brush to paint, and we use soap to wash. I guess you can say it's job or brush, or you can say to, right? So it's job or to, and we go from right to left. Beetle is a type of insect, and biology is a type of science. So we can say type of, and that's the Chinese team model for analogy questions. Make sure to test yourself, and yeah, let's move on to the next section or model. All right, we have the Angola doctor model, or the Angola doctor model. However it's pronounced, not our topic. We're gonna skim through this model since it's very easy and very simple. A branch has leaves, and a country has cities. Very simple. A nail needs cutting, a hair needs a trim. So needs. Money is located in your pocket, and taste is in your tongue, or located in your tongue. So we can say located or in, one or the other. Number 4, we have push and pull, which is opposites. So push is the opposite of pull, and win is the opposite of lose. Money is in your wallet, papers are in a folder. So money is in a wallet, is in a wallet, or papers, and papers are in a folder. All right. A week is made up of days. A hospital is made up of multiple labs. So we can say made up of, or if you would like to use the right to left technique, it also works. A day is in a week. A lab is in a hospital, which is what I would personally use. So we can say lab is in a. All right, that's if you use right to left. We'll put right to left. A floor, a rug, bed, and sheets. A floor has a rug, a bed has sheets. As simple as that. Number 8, we have shirt and buttons and wound and stitches. A shirt contains buttons or has buttons. And a wound has stitches. All right, so a shirt has buttons, a wound has stitches. All right. Accept and repel, we already had this question. We said they were opposites. Number 10, we have factory and laboratory. And we have farm and bakery. Genuinely, this is one of the questions that genuinely pissed me off because it makes no sense. How does a farm have a bakery? I've never seen a farm. I've never been to a farm that genuinely has a bakery in it. So, and I've never seen a factory with a laboratory. It's just a dumb question. So go ahead and memorize this. It pisses me off, and I'm not going to explain it because I myself don't understand it. Number 11, we have general. Let me just highlight this way so you guys can know. General and specific. General and specific are opposites. Real and fictional are opposites. So fictional, if you don't know, means not real. So we're just going to say not real. That's what it means. And real means real. General means off topic or something not specific. So we can say opposites. Scream and shout and hard and difficult, synonyms, as we said 100 times. Synonym means same, all right? So we can say same. Number 13, we have head and hat, and we have cap and pen. This is a right to left question, as we've done many times. That is not an R. There we go. A hat goes on a head, and a cap goes on a pen. So we can say goes on, and that is not G. That is also not a G. Goes. All right, so goes on. Number 14, we have strong and powerful, and we have wet and moist. This is a synonym, same meaning. Same. So strong means powerful. Wet is not kind of the same thing as moist. It's not identical, but it is close to its meaning. Okay, so number 15, we have animal and herd. Animals are usually in a herd. A herd is basically, if you don't know, it's basically multiple animals packed together. All right, so it's multiple animals together. Okay. All right, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Like I said, as I was saying, animals are in a herd. Herd means multiple animals together, all right? And we know players are on one team. So whether that means football, basketball, whatever it means, players are usually on a team. So we can say on a or in a. One of them work, or either one of them work. A vegetable, number 16, a vegetable has vitamins and a book has knowledge. Number 17, a sea or sea contains salt and a cow contains milk. Contains. Number 18, we have book and writer, and we have home builder. A book is made by a writer, and a home is made by a builder. Very simple. A bank has money, and a brain has ideas. Very simple as well. Travel, journey, move, relocate. Synonyms. same. Oh, names. Same. Travel means to be on a journey. Move also means to relocate. Very simple, very easy. And that is the Angola doctrine model for the analogies section. Very simple, very easy. Make sure to test yourself. And let's head on and move on to the next section. All right, the next section we have is the Kubali Khan model. I really don't understand these names, and I'm 100% sure you guys don't either, but we roll with it. We're gonna change icy to ice. I'm 100% sure they meant ice, but they went with icy for some reason. When you're on ice, you slip, and when you're successful, you boast. For the people who don't know what boasting means يعني شايف نفسك يعني it's like bragging, I guess you can say. You can say bragging, I guess. يعني شايف نفسك على آخرين وكذا. For the people who don't know what boasting means. So icy, when you're on ice, you slip, and when you're successful, you boast. So we can say, there's no specific relationship, but we can say we can remove the semicolon on both the question itself and the answer. And we can say, when you're on ice, you slip, and when you're successful, you boast. All right, you, and then a comma, I guess. A pool is used for swimming, and a runway is used for landing. So used for. Novel and poem, pencil and marker. There's not a specific relationship, but what we can say is a novel and a poem are writing, so we can say synonyms. In some kind of way, if that makes sense. And a pencil is I guess a synonym to marker. I'm not 100% sure, but it's what works. And we have a green check mark, so we know it's 100% correct. Afraid, number 4, afraid and terrified, and funny and hilarious. These are 100% synonyms, so same meaning. All right, same. Number 5, game, play, nose, sneeze. Game, we play a game and we sneeze from our nose. So we play a game, and there's not a specific relationship either in this question, but I guess you can say we play a game and we sneeze from our nose or from a nose. So we can say, I'll say no specific relationship, but we can say, I don't really know what to say. Play a game, and then we can say sneeze from. All right, so a or from. Look, glance, sleep, nap. Synonyms. To look is to glance, and to sleep is to nap, I guess, in some kind of way. So they're synonyms. Number 7, a camera has a lens, and an aircraft or a plane or a helicopter has a wing. Wait, a helicopter doesn't really have a wing, but an aircraft in general, most aircrafts have wings. So we can say right to left, camera has lens, aircraft has wing. Has. We had this question before, and we said a bulb is in a lamp and a nut is in a shell. It's either is in or is on. All right. Number 9, damage fix, danger hide. When you damage something, you fix something, and when you are in danger, you hide. So it is basically doing something and then fixing it, or so when you damage something, you fix it, and when you are in danger, you hide. So we can say is let's go for something simple, but we can go, there's multiple relationships. We can go for 2. When you damage something, you go to fix it, and when you are in danger, you go to hide. All right, so we can say go to. Different and dissimilar, and appalled and dreadful. We can say same meaning. Different is dissimilar, and appalled is dreadful. When I'm appalled to something, I am dreading it. And when I'm different, or when I see something different, it is dissimilar. So we can say same meaning or synonym, whatever you want to say. Number 11, we have gold and ring, we have cotton and shirt. We can say a ring is made of gold, and we can say a shirt is made of cotton. So we can say made of. All right, we go from right to left. Number 12, we have air travel and fly, and we have garment and wear. For the people who don't know what garment means type, let me just put it here, type of clothing. A garment is a type of clothing. So we wear a garment and we fly via air travel. So by. That doesn't make sense. We wear a garment and we fly via air travel. So we can say via. Alright? Via. You wear something via a garment and we fly via air travel. No specific relationship here. We remove the semicolon and put in the word a. Ride a horse, think by a brain. We think by our brain. But in this scenario, we say a. All right, it makes the most sense and it works. Let me just make a better a. A. Number 14, we have drop and broken. When you drop something, it breaks. And when you study something, you are informed on that thing. So drop, we could say is to. So when you drop something, it is to break it. And when you are studying, it is to be informed. Number 15, when you travel, you arrive. And when you order, you receive. So we can say start to end. When you travel, you eventually arrive, and when you order, you eventually receive. So two different working relationships. Start to end. The start is being able to travel, and the end being arriving. The start being to order, and the end being to receive, or eventually. Number 16, pleased and disappointed, and rarely and frequently. Opposites. Just write that. Pleased is being okay, يعني راضي عن حاجة, and disappointed يعني not being happy with the thing you received. Rarely يعني نادر, frequently يعني يصير دائما. Alright. 17, we have shirt is a type of clothing, and desk is a type of furniture. Alright. And that, I believe, is the Kubali Khan model. All right, make sure to test yourself here, and yeah, let's move on to the next section. So now we have the Marshmallow model, and there's something about this model that this is like the main reason why I'm not gonna explain this model. And you're probably gonna go and say, why aren't you explaining this model? And like, you've explained every other model, why not this one? This model in particular has me kind of confused in terms of specific relationships. I'm not going to explain something I'm not 100% sure of, and I'm not going to give you guys something I'm not 100% sure of. So I'm not going to explain this model. I'm going to leave this to you guys, and I'm going to make sure I do try to find out the relationship for this model, or the relationships for this model in particular, but I'm not going to give you guys something I'm not 100% sure of, as that's not necessary, unless you guys want me to fake relationships, which is something that isn't ideal, if that makes sense. So for the Marshmallow model, I am not going to be explaining it. I'm going to leave it for another time until I do find the relationships for all of these questions, all right? But until then, I will be explaining the other models, and I will be coming back to this one with a short, for example, or I'll just make a separate video in general, all right? All right, freshwater model. All right, we're gonna head straight into the questions. Pamphlet and book. Pamphlet basically is the same thing as a book, so we can say same thing. And a stool is a type of chair. So the relationship here for number one would be type of, or we can say same thing. We can say type of or same. Number two, we can say illness creates virus, trauma creates accident. Or we can go from right to left. We can say accident creates trauma and virus is created by illness. So I guess right to left makes more sense, so we'll go with that one. A virus creates illness and accident creates trauma. So go from right to left. Number three, blindness and eyes, recession and economy. Blindness happens in the eyes, like finish up. Blindness happens in the eyes, and recession happens in the economy. Or I can say happens in. All right. Number four, ray and beam and letter and character. I am not 100% sure what a good relationship here would be, so I am not going to answer this question, as there's a lot of questions in this specific model that I am not 100% sure of. This is why we have it named as a tricky model. If you do have a relationship, then good for you. I'd really appreciate it if you can help students by putting it into the comments, because I myself do not have a specific relationship that I can use, so I'm not going to answer this question, unfortunately. Number five, we have color and fabric. Fabric comes into a lot, or comes in a lot of colors, and sound comes in pitch. So comes in. All right. Number six, we have rocket and trajectory. As you can see for the answers, we have two correct answers, and you will get one of them. In my case, when I was doing my exam, the start of this school year, where I did get my good grade, I was able to get bus and route. I did not see journey and itinerary. I think that's how it's pronounced. I got bus and route. Does that mean you will get bus and route? الله أعلم. يعني أنت وحظك I'm not gonna say you will get bus and route. I'm not gonna say you will get journey and itinerary. But all I can say is you will get one of them if you do get this question, all right? But in my case, I did get bus and route. A rocket has trajectory. Trajectory means a route. يعني طريق معين, okay? يعني الطريق متفق عليه من أول, okay? And a bus has a route, okay? So we can say a rocket has a trajectory and bus has a route. Number seven, we have fish and school. If you don't know why we have fish in school, إذا شفنا أسماك متجمعة في مكان واحد, التجمع حقهم نسميه school, أوكي؟ مو معناته school يعني مدرسة, لا, يعني التجمع حقهم حق الأسماك هو اسمه school, أوكي؟ فالتجمع حق الفيش أو الأسماك هو school. اللوكست, اللي ما يعرف يعني إيش يعني locust, or if you don't know what locust means, locust يعني جراد, أوكي؟ يعني جراد. حلو. التجمع حقهم يعني swarm, okay? So everyone knows why we have school and why we have swarm. Yeah, okay? So when we see a school of fish, that means multiple fish in one place. And when we see a swarm of locusts or a swarm of jarad, that means multiple locusts in one specific place. All right. Number 8, we have page and we have book. A page is in a book. And and a season is in a year. Seasons, spring, summer, winter, fall. Okay, just so we're clear. Number 9, winter and cold, and we have these multiple choices. I am not 100% sure what the answer here would be. I did not get this question in my exam. It doesn't mean you will not get it in your exam. You could get it, but in my case, I'm not going to answer a question I'm not 100% sure of. So I'm not going to answer this question. If you do know what it is, or do know if it's 100%, if this answer is 100%, please let me know. But I am not going to answer a question that I'm not 100% sure of. So if you had this question in your exam and river freshness was the correct answer, please let me know. Number 10, we have sand and dunes, and we have rain and ponds. What we can say here is sand causes dunes, and rain causes ponds. Okay. 11, we have copy and authentic. Copy and authentic are opposites. Reproduce and original are also opposites. So we can say opposites or opposite. Number 12, we're going to say dearth and paucity. And the correct answer here would be individual and person. The relationship between these two words is, I guess you can say same meaning. All right. Same meaning. All right. Number 13, accident causes injury and water causes erosion. So we can say causes again. Number 13, there is no specific relationship here. This is a memorization type of question. So make sure to memorize this question because there is no specific relationship between electron an atom and seed and orange. There's no correlation between those two things. So make sure to memorize it, even though this is 100% correct. Recall, forget, and care and neglect. This is opposites, or these are opposites. Recalling something basically means remembering. All right. So when I remember something, the opposite of remembering is forgetting something. When I care for something, the opposite of caring for something is neglecting something. All right. For our last question, we have presence and absence. Being present or being in a presence basically means present. We can say present here. And being absent is being in absent is being absent. All right. What we can say here is present and absent are complete opposites. And the reason I said present and absent is just to make it easier, because some people find it hard when we have presence and absence rather than present and absent. So we can say opposites here. And the answer here would be proceed and ensue. And that is basically it for the analogies section in each model. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments or message me privately, and good luck to you all.